society? That brings me to an interesting point, Miss Wigley. We say that we are a Christian society. And we believe in the Bible. And if you really knew the scriptures, there are so many passages within the scriptures that refer to how we should treat people in society, the old, the orphans, the widows, and so on. And the really litmus test of the conscience of any society must be judged in terms of how we treat the most vulnerable, the very young, the very old, those who are vulnerable.
Most vulnerable.
For example, we are told, honor your father and your mother.
That your days may be long upon the earth.
So that your days may be long upon the earth. And we see that in Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. And then in Leviticus, we are told, you shall rise up before the gray-headed and honor the aged. And you shall revere your God. I am the Lord.
So it's there a long time.
And there are so many other references that I can speak to. So if we are not treating older persons, if there's discrimination in our society towards older persons, maybe it is a time to ask ourselves, what kind of Christian society are we? Do we have?
That's true. Very true, Lesroy. And I think that you saying that our churches, our schools,
Yes.
we have to really, for example, I know years long ago, you go to church and next thing you notice, Lesroy is not in church.
Yes.
And you say, where's Lesroy? He's always here. And before you go home, you go and find out what is wrong with Lesroy. What happened to him?
Right.
Nowadays, weeks, the body say anything, you're not people dead, you don't even know. So in church,
shows that we're losing the aspect of being caring.
Yes. Because you know that he always around, he's there, and you don't see him. Well, find out what's happening. And the same thing with our schools, we have to let our children know that you have to
Yes.
respect from begin from small.
Yes.
Because as the thing, you have to bend a tree when it is young.
That's
if you
correct.
wait until it is scrolling, it can't bend, it will break.
So we are talking here about socialization.
Yep, you have to socialize, and we have to do it all around, not just in thing.
And it starts first with the family.
With the family. The family is the core. There's another story I have where there was a lady we used to do a lot of visit with children, go out from the schools that would visit birthdays, go out with us and visit. And then we will ask them to adopt that person as their grandmother or mother, as the case, granddad.
Sure.
And that was very good. We like to see that again. But this time we had this lady who says she haven't seen her grandchildren for years. She don't know how they look now. And that pains me to see, you're right there within the village. So I went to the school and we decided to take the children, and I especially asked for those two, not telling the teacher or anybody why.
Right.
And we took them, and then at the end, I also gave those two children the basket and the card.
Sure.
And asked them, oh, now you're adopting, and give her a kiss and so on. And the woman felt so good. And afterwards, then I told her, those were your grandchildren.
Sure.
And she broke down in tears. And this is what I'm speaking about. We need to let this bond between our children, grandchildren, and so on, don't keep them away from them. And then if you do that, again, I repeat, it will grow in them that they must care for other seniors, not just their own, but other seniors.
Right. Now, Nelson Mandela, of course, who spent 27 and a half years in prison on Robben Island, for speaking out against discrimination. But this time, the discrimination was between how white people
And yeah.
were basically treating black people, racial segregation. And he said that a society that does not value its older persons denies its roots and endangers its future. Let us strive to enhance their capacity to support themselves for as long as possible, and when they cannot do any more, to care for them.
That's true, because a country or island is as rich as its people. And if you have people and they are not happy, they are sick, they are all over the place, we doom, because it is your people. And this is why our department should be motivated, because it's a social aspect. We are looking about human beings.
Yes.
And I always say, we care for people from the womb to the tomb. Because that's supposed to be our role. We care from even within the womb. You have the health sector, which is same comp. So we should be a caring, not lip service. We must really care for our people. Treat them well with respect.
Right.
And that goes throughout the island. So if our people are not happy and healthy, our country is doomed.
Right. Now you mentioned an important aspect, that of health care. Health care and our older persons. And of course, we have people who are living longer.
Much longer.
You mentioned before, and that must be attributed to how people care for themselves and advances in medicine and so on. Now, it is a fact that medical research has not often focused on geriatric problems, the problems of older persons, as much as those to do with other age groups. And this becomes a national problem, you outlined it earlier, as the numbers in the older age groups keep rising with increased longevity, people living longer, and better standards of living. What do you think? Do you think that in the Federation, our health care system caters sufficiently for our older persons?
I will give
Or would you like to see more?
I would like to see some more in that for the seniors. Sometime we used to go out more to them in the homes, where you have the nurses go and check their signs and so on.
Yes.
So, and then even at the hospital, they complain how long they have to wait before they get attention. So I would like to see a little more in that. The medication they get, and if they can't get, they come to our ministry and we help as much as we can. But they go there, they pay a small fee, which you have to pay to keep things going.
Yes.
But I would like to see a little more done to enhance a little more. We are doing
Fine.
what I would like to.
Okay, now in terms of employment, sometimes we see a lot of discrimination in the workplace. For example, older persons in the workplace tend to be overshadowed by younger persons. And sometimes there's a reluctance to hire older persons, as there's an attitude that they're harder to fit in. Especially in a younger staff, when you have a young staff, that they may be technologically slow. I know one person that used to say, "Oh, I have technophobia. I'm not so good with the technology. The young persons are so good with the technology," and so on. So that may create a sort of a rift between the young and the old. And that somehow that old people do not have innovative ideas. And perhaps, I would say this, maybe a bit controversial, but the greatest act of discrimination is enshrined in law. And that is compulsory retirement. Usually at age 65.
Yeah, I know don't have the statistics, but in the outer world, they work much older than in our region. Well, I would say, as you mentioned, that in the workplace, yes, you get a lot of objection, rejection with the young and the more senior ones. The young and the senior. My thing is that there have to be a cutoff point, and you know your limit. Everybody supposed to know your limit. You're not able, you can't do this. But yes, there must be a cutoff point in age, in age really. There must be. And if you're not able, you're not capable, then you bow down and go. Don't begin to argue, oh, you're all. No, if you're not able, you cannot function.
Right.
You go, whether
Yes.
you're 40 or 50, because some are 40 cannot function. They
So
just
true.
cannot function.
That is true.
So, and if you're thinking you're not functioning, you move on. But we have to see it and work. But yes, even within my workplace, oh, you're old. You have, but there are good ideas. If you listen sometime, some senior ones have some real, because it came by practice. And they fall down, they get up, they dust off.
Yes.
So they know what they're speaking about, So I would like to see more. Well, you try to learn from the more senior ones instead of bashing them and saying they don't think, because they have wisdom. Remember they said that, wisdom. So they mix together, and as they go bow down, then you come in. And if you work that, it will go hand in hand.
Yes.
Instead of saying, oh, they're old and they're no good. Because technology, again, remember, those older folks, technology was not then, so you can't expect them to be up to speed with you.
Right.
So we have to try and learn, but they know the hands-on. They can go, they can take you anywhere, they can show you this, they can teach you that. So let us try to learn. And again, we need to have some documentation of these persons, of what they did and how they do it.
Good point.
We have to, because yes, we have the age, but one day, just like now, sometimes you have the phone and the phone ringing and you ain't touch it.
Yeah.
Something and you ain't touch it. Technology. Yes, it is good, but we have to work both. And let
Right.
us work together. And as I said, when the time comes, you bow out gracefully and go. But at the same time, let you learn and try to learn from the more senior ones instead of bashing them.
Now, you mentioned something about learning from the more senior ones. And, of course, age discrimination is a form of social injustice. And it affects development in our Caribbean region. Because if we are not learning from the older ones, if that tradition of learning and tradition of wisdom is not passed down, then somehow that does not redound to our development, but rather it redounds to affecting adversely our development within Caribbean society.
And we will lose a lot of our gems.
And we lose a lot of our gems.
We lose a lot.
Now, there's this thing that is perpetuated about the generation gap.
There is.
Okay? And reduces the possibility of healthy, mutually respectful relations between the generations. You speak now, you hear Generation X, you hear this is the younger generation and this is the whatever. And so therefore there seems to be this sort of divide between generations.
There's a big division.
But can the generations learn to get along?
But I think like anything else, it depends on us to do it. Individually, we have to take a stand. It depends on us. No, it's like, nobody can do it for you. You will have to each one teach one and say, get out of that. And instead of
Yes.
encouraging it. And for example, children, you see them and they just put you down, not even pass you anymore. They put you down.
Those social skills.
Yes, they just don't.
Respect for,
No
for the
respect
older
for the older
persons.
Even young. Couple of days ago, I'm coming down Church Street, and a young lady put into me like an accident. She's on her phone. I don't know what she was doing, texting or what, and she not saying. I tried to dodge, but she still put into me. And this is what we are saying, that we have to be careful how we are training and what we do, because it will soon vanish and will be lost.
Now, what has been done so far this year for the month of older persons?
Let
And
me-
what more does the Ministry of
Social
Social Development have planned for this month?
For last year, we started where we tried to see that so many things are happening in October. And the seniors are there again. We try to do things before the month of, so we use up the whole year. And we started with, in February,
Sure.
where the Brimstone Hill Fortress took us out for the Sunday, and it was well attended, over 200 persons. And then we had our fun day, where in April, where the person at Kim Collins, where we had our races and people had
Sure.
their medals. Oh, that was great. Then we had the Chinese had us as guests at Eco Park. Again, we went and visit and had our day out. Our picnic went down because of the weather, so we will do that next time. But for this month, we had our church service at the Church of God in Newton Ground, which was
Sure.
well attended, and what a wonderful sermon he gave, and he dealt with the take a stand against ageism. We went to Nevis, which was again very good. We went to Nevis on their match, which was great. We had a good time. Then we're having movie night. Again, some persons, last year when we say, old people going movies. What they could do with movies? Again, this, you know how they this. What you mean? They go to movies and have fun. So we are going back to the movies on Saturday. Right. And we are going to have our seniors ball at Manhattan Gardens on the 22nd. Nevis is coming down on the 18th, and we are going through the island and doing field trip stops at various places. And they are honoring their centenarians tomorrow, which I will try, I'm not sure, to be there. And then we had our first do of honoring our centenarians last year. And I'm pleased to hear that the government has accepted my thing to have it annually. So it would now be in St. Kitts and Nevis, an annual event on our calendar that the 30th of May 31st, would be our centenarian day. Since that, we had one of our oldest person passed away, Mother Sweeney passed. And since that, we have additional. So now in St. Kitts, we have over 10 centenarians. We had one just...
Over 10?
No, we had one made birthday on the 4th since
Right.
October. So we are growing. She is from Challengers. So we have Mother Isaac, who is 102 in Keon. Gladys Williams in St. Peter's, 102. Oyuna Deposwa from Middle Island, but she's at the
Sure.
Carding home. Lillian Griffin from Keon, who just made 100 the other day. Then you have Ernestine Cross from Challengers, she's the last one, made birthday on the 4th, 100 years, on the 4th of October. You have Mr. Deposwa, several of Challengers. You have Brother Edward Bailey Solomon. By the way, Edward Bailey, everybody knew, but he's a Solomon. And you know he married 3 times. Yeah? So, Brother Bailey in Sadlers. Then you had Amos Davis in Sadlers. And you have Alfred Tyson of Bastair.
Sure.
And James Pemberton also of Bastair, St. Johnston Village. So you see we are growing. And in Nevis, there are 6. So that is saying something.
Right. Good.
And we also during the month, we are
So
celebrating.
how many in total do we have?
In total now would be
15?
16.
It's now 16.
Yes. It's now
How many in St. Kitts?
10
10 in St. Kitts and 6 in Nevis.
Yep.
Okay.
So we are growing.
Now,
And we will also be honoring 23 persons with plaques, plus our centenarians during the month of October. We are inviting the ministers of government will go out. If they can't, we'll go and honor these persons to let them know that we respect what they did and they
Right.
reach this age in each community.
right. Now, I understand that the Governor General also has something to honor these people at Government House.
That's what we did this year, and we're going to continue every year on the 31st of May.
Okay. Now, what do you think can be done to help our younger persons to appreciate older persons?
again, as I said, this education and in the home and in the schools and in the churches, to speak to them and encourage them. Just because you can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink. But we try our best, and that is. But if we do it as family and parents and thing, they will follow. Because it's just respecting your own, and if you respect your own, then that's somebody else's own. So everybody respect, and then it will just trickle down.
Right.
So that is what I don't know if there's anything out there that persons can help. We are all in it together. We can give us the ministry, you can call, you can help us, but we are all in it together. It is not just the government, it is everybody, not just the government.
Right.
The private sector, the churches, the communities, whosoever, we are in it together. St. Kitts belong to all of us.
Right. Now, Miss Wigley, we have to go to the phone lines and listen to the people in terms of what they have to say. And we were talking about the lessons that we can learn from older persons and what can concretely be done to help our younger persons to appreciate older persons. Working for you, good afternoon. Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is the Doctor of Culture.
Doctor of Culture.
Yes.
Yes, Zach Nisbet.
Yes, Winston Zach Nisbet.
Yes.
I just want to call to compliment Lady Wigley.
Yes.
For a job well done. Not only just now, but through the years.
Yes.
I think she deserves commendation to the highest extent, because she stuck to that sort of work. So the years, and she never shunned her duty. And I think we need to give her more respect and we need to honor her in some respect, because the dedicatedness, her passion, her commitment, the understanding and everything for these persons is overwhelming.
Yes.
I just want to congratulate her and to tell her continue to continue the good works, because as long as you have God, you have all. And she's being respected.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor of Culture. Miss Wigley, you have someone batting for you. That's a very good thing.
I would just like to add that throughout the years, again, I think our young people should join more things in community. It helped them to grow. Like we had the Girl Guides, we had the Boy Scouts, we have 4-H, and things like that.
Right.
And that also helped to mold you. It helped to give you, for example, when you go to university, you know that's why one of the most things they ask you, if you have any kind of background in these things, social work.
Yes.
And if you have that, you're
volunteerism and working, yes.
You get a flying colors.
That's right.
But here, our young people don't think that is important. It is very important to your thing. It is not just a one-way stream. It is a broad. You have to embrace everything, not just the books. You have to go out and play football or play cricket or basketball. You also have to, if you want to incline in music, and you also social work. You go out and look at persons in the community. Again, I grew up in the 4-H. I joined the 4-H when I was 10 years old, or maybe less. And we had our pigs, we had our sheep, goats. We do garden festivals, and we look forward to this, and this mold you and help you to come where you are. It's not just the reading and maths. You must be well-rounded.
That is correct.
And this is what the older folks have. They are well-rounded. You know, you cook. You learn to cook. You learn to do whatsoever. So whensoever anything, nobody can twist you around.
Sure.
And we need to really, really let our young people know this. Not just fast foods.